Hello all. Today we are going to see about 9 tips for making the decision making, which is very important. If we follow these 9 tips, then we will be able to make decisions very easily and in a very appropriate manner. So let's see now what are those tips. So the first tip is, whenever you are stressed or whenever you feel anxious, do not make a decision in your life, because when you make a decision when you are having some negative emotions, it is going to affect the result of the what you're going to make, the decisions what you're going to make. The second important tip is time. Always allot some time for making the decision. Do not make the decision by dragging, and do not waste almost most of your time in making decisions. Make sure that you spend some quality time in making decisions. The third tip is, always weigh the pros and cons of making the decisions. Like whenever you make a decision, you have to think what would be the result, what would be the effect when I make this decision, what would be the positive advantage of making this decision, and what would be the negatives when if I make this decision, what all the negative outcomes I'll be having. That is very important. The next would be the goals and values. Always think whether the decision which you are going to make is going to help the goals, or it's going to take you towards your goals and values, or whether it is going to affect your goals and values in your life. For example, if you have a goal of reaching, like if you have a goal of buying a home, like in 2022, then the decision, like if you have to make a decision of buying a car, will that be helpful of helping you to reach a goal? Like, will you be having the enough finance after buying the car in order to buy your dream home? So the goal, whatever it is your ultimate goal, the decision which you are going to make, whether it will be helpful for achieving that goal, that you have to think. Then consider all the possibilities. The fifth tip would be considering all the possibilities. Like, whenever you make a decision, consider all the possibilities, like what are all the possible scenarios it will happen when I make this decision. Will my family be happy? Will it help my will my finance be good? Will it help me in my growth? So like that, you have to consider all the possibilities. So you can consider all the possibilities even by discussing with the people you know, or by yourself. The next step is talk it out. Like, whenever you make a decision, you can make the decision by yourself, but sometimes it's important to make the decision by discussing with others. That is linked with the previous step, like considering all the possibilities. So how you can make a decision? You can make a decision by involving some people. Like, you have to make sure like what kind of people you are going to involve in while making the decision. You can't involve random people, all kinds of random people while making a decision. You have to first think like whether the people you are going to involve, whether they really care for you, or whether they really care in helping you to make the decision. Whether they have some knowledge or experience, previous experience, like in order to make the decision. For example, buying a car, whether that person has enough knowledge of buying a car, whether they have experience in buying that particular car. So that you have to consider. Then you have to consider the like the expertise and the knowledge and everything, and also you have to consider the what impact are they going to make, whether they will be having an impact if you make this decision, whether the person involved is going to have any impact because of this decision. For example, if you are going to make some decision, you should also think like whether it's going to have an impact on your career, or it's going to have an impact on your family. So you have to think everything, think from all the perspectives. The next tip would be the seventh tip would be the writing it out. Like, you should always keep a diary before making a decision. Write everything in the diary, like whether all the possibilities and everything. Also think whether you're going to make a decision based on your heart or based on your practicality. So always there are two types of things for making decisions, whether it should be coming from your heart, or it should be coming from your mind, like whether a practical decision. So write it down. So when you write down your goals, and when you write down all the possibilities and everything, you will be able to make a clear decision. Then the eighth tip would be plan how to tell others. Like whenever you make a decision, it's not only going to involve only yourself, it's also going to involve the people around you. So plan and think like how you are going to tell this decision to the people around you, whether they will be happy or whether they will not be happy. But if you are clear about the decision what you have made, like after making a decision, do not think about uh, do not think so much about it. Once you've made a decision, stick to it and make sure like how you are going to tell that to the people around you. It should not affect the people. It should make them also convinced and make them also understand your decision. So you have to plan like how to tell to the people around you. The ninth important tip is always have an alternative for your decision. If you are having a decision, always think like what would be the alternative plan B for this. If suppose if this does not work out, what would be the plan B? If you want to buy a car, if that car what would be the alternative for that car? You're going to buy a Santro, what would be the alternative of Hyundai or BMW, whatever would be like based on your budget, what would be the alternative for that? Do not always have only one option, always have like 2 or 3 alternatives. Plan B. It's always good to have plan B, so that if this does not this does not suit for you, you can immediately go for the next. Like after reaching the shop, you can't think that moment what could be the next alternative. You can't think immediately. So before starting from your home itself, you should have an alternative. If this does not Santro, then what would be the Swift? The second alternative would be Swift or Hyundai. How you should have an alternative. Then it will help you to quickly take that decision. So these are some of the tips which I thought of telling you to make the decision, because decision making is very important in life, and we should be following a process. We should be following these steps in order to make the decision effectively and efficiently. Hope this video is helpful for you. If you really like my videos, kindly like, share and subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications. Thank you and have a great day.